Welcome to our third day of our challenge. I am so excited for today. Today is a day when I actually get to talk to you. All the other days I just show up and I have no idea what's going to happen. And today I actually get to think about what we're going to talk about. It's kind of fun. It used to be like that was all I did. You know what I mean? All of my presentations were planned and now these days it's like I show up and I just channel and they just talk and I'm just there off on the side. So good morning. So good to see you. Well, hello from Denver, from Oregon. So good to see you guys. Hey, Anna. I'm recognizing so many of your names now that from the beautiful comments that you guys make. So I really appreciate it. And it's really fun to start to feel our community just coming closer. I love these challenges because we get closer as a community and we get to know each other better. And I see you guys commenting on each other's posts and stuff, which is just so cool, you guys. And this really is this is a community of people who are deeply on the spiritual path. And some of you guys, some of the messages, some of you guys have gifts coming in boom. And you're like, what do I do with this craziness? Right. And some of you guys have been at it for, 20 years. So the depth of experience in this group is amazing. So anyways, it's just fun. I always think myself is so privileged to be among you all and to be a part of all of this. So hello, and there's Amina. Hi, Amina from Luxembourg. And we've got Phoenix in New Zealand in Orange County. Awesome. I actually used to live in Newport for a little while. I was down there years ago and my kids were just little bunnies for a couple of years, but it's got so many neat things down there. I love the beach down there. So, all right. Good morning from Arizona, Netherlands. So good to see you guys joining. All right. So yesterday, oh my gosh, yesterday's healing, you guys, was intense, very intense. And by the way, on both of those healings, what I will do is I think YouTube will allow me to go in and shorten and just edit it down so that all you have is we'll start with the grounding and go right into the healing. The idea being that if I do that, then you guys, if you want to use this as a regular, to use it multiple times, you don't have to scan forward to try to find the meditation part. So I'll see if I can trim it down. That way, if you want to use it multiple times, you can just jump right in and go right into the grounding. So hopefully that'll be helpful for you guys. So anyways, I'm pretty sure YouTube allows me to do that. So, and yesterday's healing was we were talking about masculine energy, but what an amazing way to think about it as self-love, right? As trusting yourself, and how the angels really brought us to a place of seeing how our, looking at sort of all of our different incarnations and how they brought them all forward into now, into this moment. And that idea that by being in flow, understanding that we are the creators of our own lives. And we hear that all the time, but it was so powerful to hear and to understand. And the way I was seeing it, because you guys know, I see the visuals more than I hear the words as they're talking, to see them showing that the more that we are in resistance to what's happening in our life, it creates a constraint, right? It's like a bottleneck. So this experience is trying to flow through us, and the learning is trying to flow through us. And the more that we're in resistance, going oh, this is painful, or I don't like it, or I don't choose this, or all those things, it constricts and makes us stay in that very thing longer. So that whole thing about what you resist persists, boom, that was, okay, to me, it was super helpful to understand. So they were showing us yeah, just recognize we created it, we chose it. Doesn't mean we have to, and it does not mean we have to struggle. That we can flow through it, let it flow through us, and to stay in that perspective always of ourselves as having designed and created and knowing that we're headed on a specific path. So anyways, super, super cool. I loved it as a discussion of where we are headed into this space of not really needing karma anymore to learn, right? Learning from a place of choosing, of choice. So beautiful, huh? All right, and more, we've got people from Seattle, Montreal, Rochester, New York, London. It is so much fun. Oh, Koala Mama, I love all your comments, by the way. I always love your comments, and I didn't know you were in London. That is so cool. All right. And you've got, cousins joining too. So great to see everybody. So today we are talking about your spiritual business, you as a practitioner, and some of you I know have been in business, have been working as practitioners for a long time. Some of you are just thinking about it. Some of you are saying like, okay, you're feeling the pull. And boy, is that a real thing, because as we are like, many of you, I'm going to gamble to say most of you came here by choice right now to be here for this time period that we're heading into, leading up to now, and then also what we're heading into to help with the spiritual awakening. And we're doing that in a bunch of different ways. But one of the ways is by sharing our spiritual gifts. And I think it is no accident that in order to share our spiritual gifts, that there isn't like a company you can go to like Spiritual Gifts Are Us and get a job. Right? There is no like spiritual gift warehouse where you can be like, hey, I'm here, I'm ready, I want a job. Like, there is no job doing that. It is, if you want to do this work, you have to create it. You have to create it. And that is intentional, I believe. That the developing and the allowing and the flowing with our gifts is sort of the first piece of the puzzle. But I always remember and remind myself, we are all here, number one, for ourselves, right? For our own growth. And that growth part, certainly we have to grow in order to be able to use our gifts. Like, it's all about that everything is always about the balancing of the male and the female, getting our energies up to a place where we're more and more receptive, our capacity grows. But then beyond that, our engagement on the earth plane, there is no better way that I know of to really push yourself, to embody all of yourself, than to try to start a business, because we are forced out of our comfort zone. We're forced to do things that don't naturally come to us. And the business gives us immediate feedback. It says, guess what? You're not doing it. Like, guess what? You just launched a course and no one showed up. Or guess what? You just offered something and no one showed up. It's a reflection right back. And that desire, that pull that you feel inside of yourself to do this, and the amazing, like, magnificence of the gifts that you have that you want to share, that's a huge motivator to get you to go out and try again. So to me, it's like the perfect formula, of course, divinely designed to get us to grow, right? To push ourselves in ways that we wouldn't normally push ourselves. So yeah. And you're saying, I'm saying, hello, Anne, everyone from Sydney, Australia. Wow, yesterday was so good. I felt so too. I got to tell you, it knocked me out. I was like, naps were happening yesterday, I think. And I got several texts from people, messages from people saying that one woman said that she was literally on the floor, like catatonic. Yeah, hopefully in a good way. So, all right, so let's get into business. So today what we're going to be talking about is some very specific things. Really, it is sort of the secret sauce to what I feel makes all the difference. It's a shift in perspective about your business, about how you share your spiritual gifts. So let's dig in. Ready? All right. And here we go. There we are. So you guys know, and coming into this, that being in a spiritual business, starting a spiritual business, we all know sort of the rap that it has, that it's super hard to make money, that there's so many healers that struggle, that never get a business off the ground. It is, I think that there is, within our community, there's sort of two schools of thought. There's the whole thing about like, well, okay, there's those people who have already made it, and so it's been done, and I'm too late to the party, right? Like, it's like, how can I be there where they are? They've already made it. There's no clear bridge to get there. There's also this idea that if you just start, that you will have these soul contracts with all the people you're meant to serve, and the people will just magically show up. And that does sort of happen for some people, but that doesn't acknowledge the whole part I was just talking about, which is that your part of our reason for being here is for our own growth, right? If it was so easy, there would be no growth in that. So yes, you do have soul contracts with all the people you're meant to serve, but there has to be something done on your part to say, hey, I'm here. Hey, I can speak to you, right? We all still have the things we have to do to be found and to share our gifts, to create the structure to do it, right? Just because you have a soul contract with someone doesn't mean that you automatically have payment processing set up. as an example, right? We still have to do the work of making it happen. So there's that idea that, and I think that the thing that's really discouraging, if you are told that, if you're told that all you have to do is show up, do the work, show up, get your gifts, and then people will show up and line up at your door, is that when it doesn't happen, there's that like, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? Right? Why is it not happening for me? Is it only me that it's not happening for? Right? And no, I'm here to tell you, no, it's not. You're not the only one that's not happening for. Is because I like I said, I think it is on purpose that we have to learn how to do this, because it does push us into all aspects of ourselves. So, and there is that also, that it can be really disheartening when you see people who go out and they try to start a business and they come up against it and they can't seem to make it, right? They have a job during the day and they're doing their work in the evenings, or, on the weekends, and, or they try for a while and then they give up because they can't quite make it work and they don't know which way to go. And you guys know, we're not born, nobody teaches us to start a business. Like in school, we are taught the opposite. We're taught how to be great employees, right? We're given all the skills that we need to go work for someone else, but no one teaches us the things that we need to know to start our own business and how to make it run. So I guess in all of that, I'm trying to say, let's put aside the self-judgment, put aside the frustration you may have had up until now, put aside the fear you may have had about doing this, and let's just dig in and talk about why, right? Why is it that spiritual practitioners of all types struggle to grow a spiritual business? All right, you guys ready to dig in? Let's do it. Okay, so here's the thing. Starting out, you guys know intuitively that building growing a business takes several different types of creative energy. So you've experienced this as you've worked on different aspects of your business or in life. You know that at different times you're holding different energies, right? You switch from one mindset to another. When you go from bookkeeping to creating social media posts to networking, like all of these pull you in different directions and pull on different aspects of yourself. So, but the problem is that, like most entrepreneurs, and we are entrepreneurs, we don't always think of ourselves as that because we think spirit first and business second. But you guys are all aspiring or practicing entrepreneurs, or solopreneurs, as I like to call you. So, like most entrepreneurs, you are missing at least a few of the creative energies that are needed to grow your business. So you end up struggling or plateauing in your business and not knowing why. So it all comes down to this one thing. And we know this. Intuitively, we know this. It all comes down to your energy. And that's the most important factor in the success or failure of your business. But let's talk about why. Let's break that down. So in some ways, it's harder to be a solopreneur doing it all by yourself than it is to have a great big company. And I don't know if you guys know this. Before I was a healer, I was an executive coach for some of the largest companies in the world. I had a corporate background. So I worked for really, really big companies coaching their executives. So I had a lot of experience to how things were run on a very large scale. And what I saw with the executives I worked with was that there wasn't one type that was successful. It was all different personalities, all different types of people who made decisions in really different ways, and they were all successful in really different ways. So each of them were bringing something different to the equation, just like you are bringing something different to the equation. They each had a specific role to play. Like instruments in an orchestra, their different energies would shine at different times, which works great if you have a lot of people on your team like they did. But when you're a solopreneur, you're the entire orchestra. You have to carry all the different energies by yourself, even the ones you know nothing about. So the problem for solopreneurs is that each of these different energies are needed as part of the larger creative process you go through to create a successful business, right? And this creative process is a form of manifestation, but not in the way it's been talked about before. And this is where we're really going to depart from what we are usually taught in spiritual thinking in terms of metaphysics, how we usually think about this. This is taking it in a totally different direction. So it made sense to me that manifesting a successful business is different from how we usually think about manifesting a parking space or a first class upgrade, how we usually talk about it, right? Because those things already exist in the world and you're just trying to draw them towards you, right? It's like Esther Hicks always talks about, you just want to create a vortex, right? And draw these things towards you. But starting a business is different from that. It's not the same. When you start a business, you are creating something new that didn't exist before. So think about that in terms of the difference between those two things. So the way we're usually taught manifestation or creation in terms of our lives and creating our lives, we're taught about, like, you create this vortex, you think about what you want, you visualize it, you think about it as if you already have it, and you draw it in. Like, these are the steps we're usually taught. But what about when that thing does not yet exist on the earth plane? A totally different form of manifestation that we don't usually, or I have never seen, talked about before. All right, so our universe is governed by predictable natural laws that we all have to follow, like gravity, right? And if you create something, such as a business, you have to follow the same laws of creation that nature does. It makes perfect sense, right? So creation is a process with a series of steps, and each one uses a different form of manifestation energy, right? So you have to go through each of these different, this is exactly the same way nature does it. You can see, like, think about, for example, in nature, the process of something growing from seed. There's these different stages of growth. There's the seed, there's the germination, there's the sprout. And eventually that moves over as that plant matures into the animal kingdom, right? Where that energy that's formed in the plant gets eaten and becomes part of the animal kingdom and continues to grow as part of something else. So this is a process in nature where each one of these stages embodies a very specific energy. And you're saying that makes so much sense. Yes, thank you. I think so too. It's like once you see this, you can't unsee it. All right. So it takes multiple different types of manifestation energy to grow a business. So, but each of us is best at just one. It's what I call your soul type. It's your unique creative genius, your specific aspect of creative source energy. So there are other manifesting energies that you've learned that you're probably pretty good at. So during life, you're gonna maybe you went to school to become learn skills as a lawyer, or maybe you took a job where you had to become really, really good at production of some kind, and it stretched you outside of your normal box of how you normally are. So you learn these other skills. So now you are actually working with multiple forms of manifestation energy, some of which you were born with, and some of which you learned through your life experience that you've now become pretty darn good at, right? But then there are those that you don't really like, that you don't know how to use, or in most cases, that you don't even see. So since you aren't completing all the steps to manifest your business, remember we talked about with nature, there's this whole series of steps that you have to go through to completion. You end up feeling stuck or plateauing in your business and not knowing why. So most people get fed up with feeling like they're not getting anywhere. So they go back to where they feel most comfortable, back to the step they're best at, their own soul type energy. And think about this. Have you been trying to start your own business and you get to a place where you don't know what to do, or you're not sure why things aren't working? So whatever thing you are most comfortable at, for those of you who are most familiar with, say, for example, with technology, you're going to go back and you're going to create some more stuff. Or maybe you're going to go back and learn some more stuff. Like maybe that's your safety place, is learning. You're going to think, well, I must not be doing it right. I better go take another class. Or maybe you're the person who is your best feature is relationship with others. So you're going to go and ask a bunch of people what they would do. Right? So you're going to go back to your safety zone, the thing you do best, and you're going to do it over again. Right? They go back to that safe spot, back to what we're best at, which is your unique soul type energy. So the problem is you're just completing the same steps over and over again and not getting any closer to moving forward in your business. So we just end up on this cycle. We go step 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we just do it over and over again. We never get to steps 5, 6, and 7 because we don't see them, right? So this is why we get stuck. And you're saying, I always don't think I know enough. You're saying chronic student here. Yep, comfort is my killer. Yes, and that's what we do. And I absolutely did it too. For me, I'm a person, like, my comfort zone is creating new things. So if something didn't work, I would just go make something else. And then I never focused enough on the thing I had just made to bring it through to completion. So we all have our comfort zone, and that's where we go back to when we get stuck, and it prevents us from finishing and completing the cycle. So, and often, even though you're going back to that favorite step, they're not always focused on the essential work. They aren't applying their own soul type energy as effectively as they could to grow their business. So this is a truth that you may have a natural soul type that you're born with that is a natural gift, but there may be ways that you can use that gift more effectively in your business specifically, that it's a combination of natural ability plus skills. And you put those two together and it's magic. Right? And that is the second area for development. So they don't understand where their creative gifts are most useful and important, what phase of business they can excel at, what role they need to play. They don't know where and how they can set themselves up to excel. So this is so huge, right? It is about recognizing, and this gets back to some of that sort of self-love that we were learning yesterday with the angels, is learning, really beginning to recognize what sets you apart. Because I guarantee you that the thing that you are best at, you diminish and you think is less important than the things that you can't do. And doubling down on that and learning the skills associated with that can add serious fuel to your business. So manifesting a business requires that you learn, number one, where and how to most effectively apply your own soul type energy, as well as to learn which soul type energies you are missing. And then thirdly, how to grow into using those missing energies that you might not currently see. So there's a total, just so you know, there's a total of 7 soul type energies. And the soul type energies relate to your thought processes, to how you actually think and solve problems. And believe it or not, because we don't see our own thought process, we think everybody thinks the same way that we do. But there are 7 very specific ways of thinking about problems, and each one creates a different energy. And each one manifests something different and makes you uniquely good at solving problems, specific kind of problems, in a specific stage of the creative process. And it's completely fascinating and mind-blowing. Just to let you know, like, this is just touching the surface of how deeply this goes and how amazing it is to work within the world in this construct, in this understanding of how things work. So, all right, building a business is a fantastic way to grow into all 7 energies. But the pathway to do it is confusing, and I'm going to explain why. So when you're saying, you nailed my problem with that sentence. Thanks, Carrie. So the best place to start in terms of why is this confusing? Why is this so hard for us? Is by looking at what your business is today. So whether you've been in business as a spiritual practitioner for a long time, or if you are just getting started, maybe you've done a few free sessions or trade sessions here and there. Either way, let's look at what your business looks like today. All right. So this is what I'm going to call your sales engine. So an engine is just a series of parts that things go through to create an output. Right? And so this is your engine. This is how your business, potentially most of you, this is how it's going to look like today, right? Basically, it looks like this. Your phone rings, right? You chat with that person about how, or maybe it's email or texting or whatever it is, right? But somebody connects with you. You chat about how you can help them. They tell you what they need. You say, this is what I offer. And then hopefully they book a session. Woohoo, right? And then I'll see you soon. And then they come and you have your session. Maybe you send them some forms, whatever it might be, right? So this is how most spiritual practitioners run their business. This is their whole engine. This is everything they do. And they try to grow and scale a business that's big enough to support themselves with just this simple, tiny little engine, right? And somebody is, Michael is saying, each of the seven ones align, they have an alignment with the chakra system. Yes, they do. They align with the Enneagram. They align. There's definitely like, once you hit upon a truth, you see it reflected out in all these different places. So whatever your favorite way of understanding people are, it most likely is going to align with this way of understanding with the 7 different soul types, which is pretty cool. To me, it just speaks another layer of truth, which is cool. But okay, so if your business looks like this right now, say so in the comments, because I'm willing to bet you this is how you are running your business right now. This is how we all start, because this is what you do if you're not sure what else you're supposed to do, right? There's a big gap. What else is needed? What else would you need beyond this? All right, so the big question is, how do you grow from here? So it's confusing because there's so much advice out there saying that their solution works. Now I have to get this back again. What did I do to myself? Okay, here we go. Ah, phew, back. All right. So if you watch the ads that pop up on your Facebook feed, there are the kinds of solutions that you're most likely going to see are these. You're going to see lots of ads for social media. Oh, you got to have a social media. You got to get on Instagram. You got to get on Facebook. You got to get on LinkedIn. Oh, you got to go with your email list. Don't forget that. You got to have a huge email list. And oh my gosh, then you're going to have a free course, right? Everybody's got to have a free course, and you're going to need to start a blog, right? Because that's how you're going to do this. And then don't forget, you have to get on a podcast. And you need a Facebook group, right? This is what you're going to see, and you're going to get completely overwhelmed, right? So this is what we see on your Facebook feed. These are all these things. Oh my gosh, you're going to succeed. You're going to do this, and it's going to make all the difference in your business. And it's all of these things, right? And it's totally overwhelming. And so here's the problem with all of those offers, all of those options that you see like all over the place, everybody's doing all these things, is if you look at your engine, your business engine as it exists right now with what you have, where do these fit? Think about where would these actually apply to the engine? And you're saying, it's so crazy, right? I know, me too. So, and you're saying, my phone does not ring. I need help for simple engine. Well, we're getting to that. We are getting to that. So anyways, all of these things fit in the same place. They all fit here. All these solutions are focused on helping people find your business, which is what we think we need. We all think, what if I would have a business if I could just get people to make my phone ring? We think that's the problem. We think all I'm missing is flow. I need clients to find me. I need people to find me. If they could just find me, I would have a great business and I would be fine, right? But I'm here to tell you that that is actually not the problem when you are starting and developing your spiritual business, right? Because what happens when they find you? If people find you, how many of them say an immediate yes? How many of the people find you and they're immediately like, hit the ball out of the park? Yes, let's book a session right now. How often does that happen? 100% of the time or not? So, or do lots of them say they aren't sure, and then maybe they disappear and you don't hear from them again, right? Or maybe they book once and never again. And how many of them then recommend you to their friends? So using this, if all your focus is on that first piece of the engine, how to make your phone ring, which is what most people are focused on, I will tell you, I am willing to bet that almost all of you are focused on trying to make your phone ring. And how has that worked to build your business? It doesn't work, right? Because it's just this one little piece. And the big problem with it is that finding new clients is expensive, that it costs 6 to 7 times more to get a new customer or client than it does to develop the client leads that you've already got. Literally 6 to 7 times more. So as a solo practitioner, you have very limited resources. You are one person and you're trying to start a new business, which means you're trying to generate income for yourself. And we're spending all of our time on this idea of trying to grow client leads, trying to get people to call us, which is taking 6 to 7 times more energy than anything we invest in the rest of that engine, which is really mind-blowing. So, okay, so once potential clients find you, you want to make sure that they don't enter your business and fall out the other end, right? So you want to build a business with world-class service so that those potential clients become long-term, loyal, repeat clients. Hold on just a moment here. All right. All right, think of your business as a living, breathing organism. Like any creature, it needs to have 4 legs and all of its organs to function well. You can maybe keep it alive without those things, but not very well. And without all those things, it can't run around and do all the things that business creatures are supposed to do, like serve your clients. And I see we've got a spammer in our thing here, and I'm trying to figure out what I can do about it from my BeLive, and I don't see what I can do. So you guys, please just ignore the spammer if you can. Sorry about that. I don't know how I can fix it from here, but that's okay. All right. So, so here's the thing, like I said, is that we're trying to figure out how to serve all the other aspects so that you can actually have world-class service for the clients that you do get. Once you have that built, then it makes sense to start investing in drawing more clients to your business. And if you do it too soon, you're wasting time and money because all of those expensive new client leads are falling out the other end of your business. So, and this is the thing, if somebody calls you and they're like, okay, I've got this problem, but I'm not sure, they're hemming and they're hawing and they're not sure about the cost. And so maybe, well, let me think about it. And you never hear from them again. You have no system in place right now to go back and reach out to that person or to cultivate that person or to help them in a way that develops relationships so that down the road they become one of your best clients. And I will tell you, I know active spiritual practitioners that say, well, you know what? This person, it took them 10 years of following them, 10 years of watching their work and paying attention to what they were doing to finally decide to take that next step and work with them. So this idea of cultivating relationship with the people that you want to work with, making a space where you have systems in place to do that so that they over time become more and more comfortable, more and more willing to trust you, to invest with you. This is what it's all about, right? It's so cool to think about. And I'll tell you, here's the beautiful thing is that's actually one of the most fun parts. That one of the things I love best about my business is that my clients are my friends. I love the clients that I work with, right? I love developing relationships with them. Even the ones that maybe haven't, that are not paying clients, that are people that just participate in my communities. I value them, right? They're important parts of my world. And you don't have that if you don't have these other aspects of your business. All right. So this is like right here, this chart, this graph is so valuable, you guys. So here's where, okay, focus in. This is the money page right here. Let's talk about, I'm going to hide myself so you can see it all. Well, I'll have myself when I get down there. All right. So this is how a business grows most efficiently. Each stage is accomplishing something important. So let's talk about this in terms of how you grow a business. And this is really important in terms of understanding why all of the current ways that you're being taught or told to grow a business don't work. So this first one right here, creating a valuable surface where you see, number one, your first client, that wonderful, amazing, blessed first client who comes to you, right? When you are working on your first clients, that would be the stage of your business that is between 1 and 10 clients. So if you're just starting out or you've done some free sessions, some trades, maybe you have a few clients that are working with you, but you're in that first stage, 1 to 10 clients. The thing that you're trying to do in this stage is create a valuable service. And you do that by figuring out your offering through personal service to solve their problems. So this is during this phase of your business, it's very high touch. This is where you're really working it out with your clients, trying to understand. And you're saying, so anyway, so this piece of it is where many of you are right now. In this 1 to 10. And in this 1 to 10, you're not trying to grow a massive following. You're not trying to go out and start, a blog or major, you don't even need a website at this stage. What you're really doing is you're trying to figure out the offering through personal service to solve their problem. And by doing so, you're trying to figure out what what it is that your clients actually need from you. How can you grow and change your business to be most helpful for them? All right, then once you get beyond 10 clients, you get to that 10 to 100. So here you are starting to build out this sales engine that I've been talking about. You are refining your service to make 10 people so happy that they refer you to other people, right? So this is the work that's happening when you grow your business to this stage. You've made it past that 1 to 10, you're in the 10 all the way up to 100 clients, right? All right, then after that, you move into the next bracket, which is 100 or more, 100, between 100 and 1,000 clients. So in this bracket, what you're trying to accomplish is to create repeatable processes that work to enroll ideal clients and solve their problems. So this is that in that you don't start doing this until you get to that 100 client level. And then beyond that, when you get to 1,000 client, then that's when it's finally time to start getting some help, when you want to hire people to help you. So this is hugely important. Oh, thank you so much, Jen, for blocking the spammer. I really appreciate it, you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I just want to make sure everybody's having a good experience in the comments. I love that you're all talking to each other. I really appreciate it. It's awesome. All right. So, okay. So most marketing solutions, the ones that we talked about that show up in your Facebook feed, are intended to help you build an online funnel, which you guys have all heard about, the online funnel, and it's intimidating and it's scary and very expensive. And this is great once you already know how to make 100 clients very happy, right? That online funnel is an amazing thing. Once you get up to this level, this bracket of literally 100 clients is what it takes to get to a place where this makes sense for your business, right? So if you have less than 100 clients, which is where I'm willing to guarantee you most of you are, then you want to focus on perfecting your sales engine. And that's this part about how do you make 10 people so happy that they refer you to others. So the beauty of starting with one client and focusing on that and working your way up from there is that you are learning what your clients want and you're getting paid to do it. How important is that? Because most of you, as you are starting out in your spiritual business, you're not super flush with cash most of the time. And you want this business to be paying you from the get-go. And this is the way to do it, to start from the beginning, develop and nurture those initial clients, build them up till you have that first 10 clients who love what you do, right? Who you've really handheld, really focused on them. And in the process of doing that, they are paying you. You're getting paid to learn what your service should be, right? This is the magic of it. You're not launching a bunch of programs and then figuring out that you just created something that nobody wants, which I have done that. I know the pain of that. So this process of recognizing the stage of business that you're in and you're saying, amen, right? Yes. So yeah, it saves you a ton of money. And it makes it so that your program is profitable, that what you're doing is profitable from day one. And maybe you're worried that you're not going to make enough money starting this way. Maybe you really want to do this to earn full-time income. And you're worried if you don't have a funnel, if you don't jump into these big ponds immediately, that you won't make enough money. And I personally know an energy healer who has literally only 400 people on her email list, and she made almost $1 million over 3 years. So you can earn full-time income while you build a business that works. And I can tell you at every stage of this process that most healers never need to get beyond that 10 to 100 clients. That literally most solo practitioners, you can build an extremely profitable, sustaining business in that bracket of 0 to 100. And you never have to go into building the funnels and the courses and the junk. You don't have to do it most of the time. So this is like, right? This is a totally different way. And nobody tells us that because all the people that are selling all those things want you to build the funnels and want you to advertise and want you to do all that stuff, right? But you don't have to if you have an effective sales engine. If you just nurture the people who are already interested in working with you. It makes so much sense when you really think about it. Rather than letting people come through your business and contact you and then just disappear, we want to take those people and treat them like the jewels that they are and help them to stay with you, to nurture that relationship so that they want to work with you, right? Because those people were called to you in the first place, right? All right, here we go. So if you have less than 100 clients, the opportunity is here with what happens after they find you. So this is such a departure from what we are always taught. And that's because almost all of the business courses out there are not designed for solo practitioners. They're not designed for people who are wanting to share a service. And when you share a service, when you are out there wanting to share your gifts, you're not looking to scale to this massive business. You're looking to develop a following of a few between 10 and 100 dedicated clients who stay with you and work with you. That's what it's all about. And there aren't a lot of courses out there, none that I've seen, that teach you how to do this. They're all teaching you how to scale and how to grow and how to do courses and how to do all this stuff and how to, how to do a totally different kind of business, more of a product business, not a service business. And you guys are in a service business. You guys are wanting to share your healing gifts, your channeling gifts, right? Your counseling gifts. And that's a totally different thing. So I think this is huge in terms of saving you a ton of pain. All right, so what you want is a sales engine that delivers world-class service, right? And you're saying, got to get the first clients, that's a problem. Yes, and that is to be addressed as well. But it's really important to have the engine created so that when you get those clients, you keep them. And that's really the key, is trust me, the clients will come. But it is, what do you do with them once you have them? How do you keep them? You just don't want a client, you want a business. You want a client that's going to come in and stay with you, right? So build the business and then let the clients come in. And with those 10 clients, you can start building a business if you know how to work with them once they've found you. And that's the key. That's where we lose our thinking. We get so focused on the sparkly, if I need people to call me. Yes, you do. But it's super important to know, what are you going to do once they find you, once they call? Because so many opportunities will just pass you by. All right, so this is what your business could look like: a world-class service engine that turns leads into long-term loyal clients. This is what you need. This is how you build a business as a solo practitioner, as a healer. This is what you do, right? And it goes through this whole process, and the whole process is designed to encourage rebooking, to encourage referral, to encourage people booking larger packages with you, to encourage this kind of, repeat business over time, right? Because finding new clients every single time, it costs you, like I said, 6 to 7 times more than nurturing the clients that you have. And nurturing the clients that you have is a whole lot more fun. That's where the benefit is. That's where the joy is. So what this means is building a complete product offering that meets your clients' needs no matter where they're at. So that's one of the big pieces, a complete product offering. And that means a complete suite of your services. It also means developing a way of talking about your business that speaks right to their hearts. So you need to be able to and this is part of bringing those clients pulling the right clients to you, creating a sense of community and belonging for them once they found you, never letting them feel forgotten or unimportant, so that they feel great about recommending you to their friends, right? This is the kind of engine that you need to build, right? All right, so building this engine that we're talking about, here's where it all comes together. To build this takes 7 different types of creative energy. So you wonder, why haven't I done this so far? Well, it takes all 7 aspects of soul to do this. It takes multiple different ways of being in the world to create this process. So once I understood this framework, and I want to share some of my personal experience with you guys and how this has been impactful for me, that I realized where I needed to focus next to grow my spiritual business. So I will tell you, I have started businesses in the past that failed, and I learned immeasurably from those experiences. I learned, and one of you just said, I have trouble putting myself out there. I had that same problem. I was so afraid of being seen in the past. Like I remember my first profile picture that I ever put up was a picture that one of my kids had taken where I was wearing a party hat. and they took like one of those little pointy hats, and they had the camera upside down because they were kids, and they took a photo of me. And so because the picture was upside down, it looked like my head was an ice cream cone. I was upside down with a cone, you know, so you could barely see who I was. And that was the picture that I put up for my profile picture because I didn't want to be seen, right? I was so reluctant to be found. And in my first business, I was nowhere to be found in the business. There was no photos of me. There was no mention of my name. All I did was I offered a product, and I never talked about myself. And I believe, and I know that was the reason that business didn't work. So once I understood this framework, I knew what I needed to learn. And I needed to learn to work with the specific energies that I was missing. I needed to use those energies to build out my own sales engine. Once I started this, it opened a whole new phase of growth in my spiritual engine, my spiritual business, I mean. So, and I had the same fears that you do about having a spiritual business. I really did. I couldn't see a model of success that was going to work for me. I knew like all the stuff about every healer you meet is like struggling and broke. And like, I didn't want that for myself. I wanted a business. I wanted something that would support me. And I know you guys too. And it's scary, right? Yeah. Yeah. You're saying it was so scary to get my face out there. Yeah, it was. And so, you know, when I first got started, one of the first things I did, I don't know if you guys are having trouble on YouTube. Hopefully it's coming forward. Okay, hopefully it's working for you guys on YouTube. So one of the first things I did was I started a Wisdom Soup meetup. And first time I started it, my motivation was really that I wanted to find my own peeps. I wanted to find other people who were on the path. But when I did, I was really worried that no one was going to show up. And now it is literally, our meetup is over 1,400 members strong, right? And people are showing up in record numbers to these monthly events. So, and this was really a shift in me. This was a shift in how I showed up, in my energy. What was I able to hold? How much capacity did I have? I used to have, like I said, that fear of being seen. Right now, Spirit Men's Business is just my Facebook group, is literally over 1,000 members. My YouTube channel has grown to over 6,000 people. Right? I am loud and proud. I am channeling live in my Facebook group and on YouTube for thousands of subscribers and members. I could not have imagined doing that before. I would have been terrified to do that before, right? And let me see why it's frozen for you guys. I'm so sorry to hear that. It looks like it's still working. I'm not sure why. Hopefully it will catch up. So let's continue on. I'm so sorry it's frozen, you guys. Let me just check and see if anything's going on here. Let's see, and check YouTube. It says it's working. All right, let's hope that is it still not working, guys? Still not working? Okay. I'm very sorry for that. I will post the recording here too. Okay, so that you can miss the parts that you don't miss the pieces that you lost. Okay, so hopefully you're finding me. At least I'm live on the Facebook feed. So we'll keep going. And like I said, I will post the recording. All right. So as you guys know, in terms of, and I only post this to show you the difference and to show you what a catalyst it is. It's literally just like a thing that has to be decoded. It's just understanding how these energies work and how to work with them. That all of my healing programs have sold out consistently with a wait list for over 6 months. And I want to make it really clear, I have spent $0 on advertising. And that's because I did exactly what I'm showing you guys. I grew it. I started with 1 client. I started and I grew that to 10. And then I grew from 10 to 100. Okay. That this was a process of and not being lured into all these different things that are not in service to me. And yes, I was originally, and I will tell you about that too. I will tell you about the very sad mistakes that I have made. For example, I mean, I'll get into it, but the biggest thing I want you to know is what was different. I was different, right? I had learned to use the energies that I was missing, and I was using them to build an engine for my business. All right, and best of all, learning to use these different manifesting energies not only helps you to grow your business, it also speeds up your own soul progress. This is what I was talking about in the beginning, about how we're being through this process, we're being pushed into all these different energies, right? That we maybe don't even see, that we don't have access to right now. We're put into a situation where in order to succeed, we have to go outside of our comfort zone. So learning to grow your business becomes a spiritual experience. And you're saying this is going to be posted. Yep, I will post the recording for everybody. So don't worry if it froze. Yes, I will post it for sure. So this is the real reason why building a business is such an important part of our journey, right? Learning to use all 7 energies helps you to fully express yourself as a creator. And it's a super important part of why we came here. So after going through all this, I really hope you guys are feeling more empowered, that you finally understand why all the solutions that are out there aren't really solving the problem, and where you need to focus to get your gifts out of the hobby zone, right? Where you're trying to get a client, and you start to make full-time income, which is what you need, really what you need. Like, you need to be making, if you want to do this, if you feel called to do this, it needs to be a situation where you do not have to have a day job and then do healing on the side, because you can't. As you start to take on more and more clients or coaching, right, you need to have your energy available for your clients, right? And so it needs to be a situation where you can build a sustaining full-time income. So a half measure is not going to cut it. Like, we got to solve these problems. We got to get to a place where you feel you know how to grow your business. It's so important. I mean, not just for you, but honestly, for all the people that you're meant to serve. And as we are stepping into this critical time for humanity, right? So I want to tell you, you are totally welcome to take this information and apply it to your business on your own if you want to. But doing it on my own has been a very difficult process. And this is where I'm going to tell you my walk of shame, that I took a ton of missteps figuring this out. Right? I overinvested in the wrong things at the wrong time. I did all those things. I developed websites and funnels and expensive tools that I totally didn't need. I hired people way too soon because I didn't know any better. I thought that's what I needed, right? And then I joined high-end coaching programs. Oh my word. I thinking they were going to help me get started faster. So I spent $10,000 and then another $10,000 and then $17,000. And those are actually really average prices, by the way. So I know, just gasp, right? It's crazy. And I know people, like, I'm not alone in this. I know people who have spent way more than that trying to crack this very problem that we are talking about. So learning these lessons has cost me about $150,000. And that is like, okay, total walk of shame. And it was over time. It wasn't all at once, but it was a ton of money. And it's terrible to admit that, but it's true. And I now think of it as my entrepreneur MBA. I think of this as literally what I needed to learn. So it was a process, right? But it was useful to me because it got me to a place where I understood what I'm telling you now. But I can only imagine how much further I'd be now in my business and how much less I would have spent if I had had help with this back when I needed it, right? Help designed for this stage of business that we're talking about, where you have less than 100 clients. This is where it's a totally different beast. It really is. So I can save you the time and money I spent figuring out, and I would love to help you do it. If you would like help, I am offering help. So you're saying maybe instead of walk of shame, it's an expression of humility. Yes. Yes, exactly. So I have created a course. I'm thrilled to tell you that it can teach you exactly how to do this, to teach you all the stuff I've been talking about. And this has been a labor of love. This really is something that I see as a service to all of us, to all of humanity, to help you guys get out and to share your gifts. And it's called Business Energetics. So, and this is how it's laid out. I want to tell you a little bit about it right now. There are basically 4 stages, and there's different energies in each of these 4 stages. So the first stage I would call the developing stage. And here you have, I have the first unit, which is really about the soul types that we've been talking about and understanding these different energies. But then you go after that into the specific energies of each of these stages of developing your business. You go into class 2, which is the optimizing, that's the optimizing soul. This is where you're going to be creating basically a product line of your services, a suite of your services to meet people at every stage of their readiness to work with you. Then you go into your expressive energy, which is where you're going to be developing your marketing message. How is it that you talk about your business? Who is it that you're meant to work with? And having that ready-made, the elevator pitch is a piece of it, absolutely. Then you go into the second stage. Once you've got things defined, you know what you're doing. Then you go into the second stage of business, which is selling what you have. And here you need two different energies. You need your collaborative soul energy, which is where you're going to be generating those leads that you guys are looking for and that awareness of your business. Then it goes into coaching soul energy, which is learning to sell your product or service. And sales is a whole thing that you got to learn. It's a whole process, but it is just that. There's no mystery to it. It is literally just a skill set that you got to learn. And it doesn't have to be a huge thing, because you're not trying to sell someone the Empire State Building. You're trying to cultivate a group of clients that will stay with you and work with you. So stage 3 in this process is about measuring. It's about looking at what you've done and process improvement. And you do this, like, what data is it that you're supposed to be looking at? How do you figure out where you went wrong and what you did right? And then that stage 4 is really about refining the business. So this is where you're going to get into strategic planning, setting goals. How do I forecast what I'm going to do in my business so that I meet them? And automation, hugely important for us as solo practitioners, because you cannot do all this by yourself, right? And then finally, the 8th one is about experimenting energy. And this is so important too, building and keeping momentum in your business. So this is how that works. It breaks it down by the 7 different soul types, and it takes you through all of the tools that you need to create your business in each of these different buckets, so that by the end, you have a functioning sales engine that will help you to grow a stable and profitable business. So you learn the 7 different soul type energies while you're applying them to your business. So you're growing, right? So that by the end of this course, you have a complete business engine and you're growing as a soul. You're learning how to expand yourself, how to step into these energies that you don't necessarily see right now. So this is what you're going to achieve, an effective engine for your business, just like we talked about. So, and these are the kind of deliverables that you'll create in us. All right. So how to package your services for profitability, to create a magic elevator pitch, a sales script that doesn't feel like selling, how to get testimonials and referrals, defining and starting your own client communities, creating your welcome email series, what to measure in your business to stay on track, creating your strategic plan for your business, and then you're going to see how to easily automate your business. So it's literally the whole package, everything that you're going to need to get going in this stage of business, in this really 0 to 100 clients. All right, so I want to share with you a little bit of feedback from people who have been in the course. So one, Bettina Jones, was starting a new business and needed to get the word out, and she learned how to use collaborative energy to network her way from 0 to 6 clients in 2 weeks. Erica Larson learned to use optimizing energy to expand her product offering. She converted existing customers to a new high-ticket recurring revenue program, adding predictability and security to her business income. And just so you know, Erica is now booked 6 weeks out. She's doing so well, which is so cool. Michael Sheridan realized he was focusing on the wrong things to grow his business. He shifted into coaching energy, changed his focus, and doubled his email list in just 2 months. Wendy Rose Williams presented at the same conference 2 years in a row, and by refining her expressive energy, she increased her signups from that event by 47% year over year, which is amazing. And this is really about learning how to use the energies. All right, but let them tell you about it, if you will.
Everything about your course was amazing.
It was an amazingly massive jump in income.
Yes, and my business is like, I'm raring to go. So it's like, come on.
Business energetics is an entirely different way to view how you would start a course. You learn how to access the soul type that you need for what you're working on. It is, to me, and I've taken business courses before, it's by far way more powerful than a regular business course.
That everything was done step by step for you. And if you followed the workbook and if you followed kind of what you were saying and the message that you were saying, you could literally create a business as you go along. As you follow those 8 weeks, you literally start from the optimizer, you start this vision process. This is what we do. Then you go on to the next one, the next one, and you could literally create a business in 8 weeks.
It took you from conception stage through all the stages of a business and said, here's the energy you need at each of these stages. And so in terms of like going from zero to at least having a framework to understanding it, I really like that. I mean, it's no surprise to be told, you know, thinking the way you normally think is not going to solve the problems that you've not been able to solve so far. But it really gives the grappling hooks required to have a frame of reference and then to understand what you need to do to deal with each bottleneck or obstacle that is in your business.
And what I loved with the sections where we talk about strategizing and starting to really take a look at the money side of it and projections, it was like, oh my gosh, that was like, thank you. That module literally would have just paid for the whole thing.
I think it was everything. It was interaction with the people that were online. It was learning what everyone else was doing.
You helped me to fix many of the issues that I had. And the biggest one was sales, putting myself out there. I had an approach that just absolutely didn't work. One of the things I didn't realize that would happen as part of doing the program is you grow through the program. You don't just pick up tools and put them in your tool chest. You understand something about you that you lacked, that you need to change, and then you bring that changed you into your business. The year I began working with you, let's say in terms of simplicity, my sales were X, and 3 years later, my sales were 10 times X. It was an amazingly massive jump in income by putting into place the missing pieces that I had in my business. You know.
So wonderful testimonials from people who have taken the course already. And I'm going to now show you, and I don't want you guys to panic when I show you these numbers. I just want you to understand the value of what we're talking about. So, so let me show you those elements, each of those elements. I will tell you that I have taken courses in the processes of me learning all of these skills, that each separate one of these things would be sold as a separate course. And they literally, like one of these skills, like the process of selling, I think I paid $10,000 was one of those, that $10,000 bill, that was to learn to sell. So just one of these. So just so you know the scope of this, but I know as a healer starting out, we need something that is not geared towards these grandiose things. We need something that's affordable. We need something that's like I said, that's part of the reason that I feel like this is a service, that I want to make it something that is available and attainable for those of us who are not going to scale a massive business, that we're going to have a cadre of close clients that support us in full-time income. But I want you to see the value of it. And even if you were to go for the bargain basement version, this is like, even if you were to like go on Udemy and find like some schmo who's going to teach you something, it's still look at the value, right? This is the stuff that you're learning. This is an entire suite. This is like the whole solution that you're going to need. So there's a ton of value here. And I just want to make sure you guys see that. So Business Energetics, the course, in order to make it super affordable, I have normally, my price for it is $9.97. And there are payment plans to make it even more affordable, because I know where you guys are at. For the most part, you are trying very hard to make your business work. So, but I usually only offer the full 8-module course. That's how I typically work with this course. But I want you to see, right now, I feel like more and more people are waking up, and I feel like they're going to be needing our help, that there's urgency to this. And I want to make it as easy as possible for you guys to get out there and share your gifts. A part of our effort, to get out in front of the wave, it's our effort to do this and to be ready for that awakening, and to make it possible. I want to make it possible for you to take your next steps as easily as possible. So just for the next week, I'm going to offer something that I hope you will take advantage of. And I've taken the first module of Business Energetics and I've made it a standalone course. It's the introductory module. I call it Business Energetics 101. It's an introduction to the foundations. And it's a self-paced course. It's 8 video modules. It has a video workbook, a printable workbook that goes with it. And so here's what it includes. It's going to include the 3 levels of manifestation: perception, vibration, and creation. And this is going to go into manifestation in a way, like I said, that you have not yet learned. This is a really different way of perceiving it, and it goes in alignment with these stages of creation that I've been talking about. So you're going to learn your soul type, which of the 7 energies you possess. You'll clearly understand your own creative energy and where you fit in this process of creation. So once you see it, like I said, once you see that, you can't unsee it. It's hugely enlightening. You're going to evaluate your business. So you're going to do a simple quiz to undetermine which of the 7 energies you're actually missing. So you'll be able to see what it is that you currently can't see. You're going to learn the process. So how is it that you learn to step into these new energies? So the ones that you don't see are the ones that maybe you're not using as well. Or I'm going to show you what specifically is the process that we use throughout the rest of the course. And then you're going to also see the critical balance between the masculine and feminine energies in your business. So this is what's all included in this module 1. All right, and so this, if you just took the cost of Business Energetics and you broke it down to how much would one module cost, this is what it would cost. It'd be $125 per module. But because I want to make this a no-brainer, I'm going to make it $97 for you guys. And on top of it, I'm going to throw in a bonus, which I think is going to be super helpful, which is I would love to invite you to join me on March 27th for a group Q&A call about your business. And I'm going to do 2 time slots. So no matter where you are, you'll be able to make it. So I'm going to do one at 10 a.m. Pacific and one at 5 p.m. Pacific on March 27th. And that'll also help us so that the groups are a little smaller so that we can really dig in and have some meaningful conversation with you guys about your business. So I want to let you know that you are ready for this. So even if you feel unsure about sharing your gifts, there is no better way to draw them out than to start using them, to putting yourself on the spot, getting out there and trying. If you've been thinking about offering free sessions, or if you've been practicing already but not earning what you like, you're going to need to grow your business. If you have less than 100 clients, so anywhere between 0 and 100, then this is the first step to get out of that hobby zone and to help you grow into creating a full-time income with your gifts. And I just want to ask you how long you've been trying to make this work. And I know for some of you, it is a really long time. I know, and I know the pain of that. And I am so sorry that it has been hard. And I want to ask you, is what you've been doing going to get you there fast enough for the wave that's coming? So I want to remind you, here's what you're going to receive. You're going to get Business Energetics 101, which is the 8 video modules with a printable workbook. And that is normally would be $125 for that. You're going to get within that, you're going to get the 3 levels of manifestation, right? You're going to learn about perception, vibration, and creation, which is going to go into that, the 7 energies and how that works to create. You're going to learn your soul type. You're going to be able to evaluate your business so you understand which energies you're missing. You're going to learn the process, right, that you're going to need to learn these different energies that you're missing. And you're also going to see that critical balance between masculine and feminine energy in your business. So your total thing you're going to get here is the course, which is valued at $125. You're also going to get the bonus call, which I would value at $50 because usually my group sessions are about $50. And the total value of that together would be $175. And you're going to get it all for $97, right? So the goal here is to get it to be a total no-brainer, to make it easy for you guys. So, and then here's the final coup de grace. If you don't love it, for whatever reason, you can take the course, you can come to the call. If you get to the end of that, if you get to the end of taking the 101 course, and if you get to the end of the call and you say, you know what, it's just not for me, or I'm not ready, or this doesn't resonate for any reason, I will give you a full refund. I will give you your whole $97 back. That is how confident I am that I think you are going to love this. So just let me know before April 1st, and I will be happy to refund your investment. So if all this did was help you to book even just one more session every month, would it be worth it? if all this did was show you how to make your own unique manifestation process more powerful and effective, your soul type, would that be worth it? Or how about if all this did was to give you the confidence to feel like you are good at business and that you can do this? I think that would be worth it. So business energetics is part of my breakthrough too. And I want you to know that as I've grown in my understanding of business creation, I've been working my way into each of the manifestation energies one after another and applying them to my own business. So I've had to push myself out of my comfort zone, and I've used this framework to understand how to do it, to help me see where I'm at in the development of my business and what I need to do next and how to do it. So, and just so you know that people who are in business energetics are in it indefinitely, and people come back and they take it year after year because they reach a new level in their business and they realize they are ready for the next stage of growth. So people will come back, like in the testimonial video, how Michael said, it's like after 3 years of working with me, sometimes it takes a while. You build these energies, but the key to doing it this way is that you're profitable from day one. So business energetics is the product of that process. And it's already changing my life in magical ways. It really is. And now I want it to change yours. So this crazy year could be your best year that your business has ever had, right? It could be the year where you make your biggest breakthroughs that change your life forever. So, but don't wait, because I usually only make this offer once a year and it will go away in just a few days. I'm going to leave this up for a week. So if you need time to think about it, you have a little time, but please don't wait. I want to make sure that you are ready to participate in the group call on the 27th. So you've got nothing to lose and so much to gain, you guys. So here is how you sign up. It's easy. Go to anntucker.com, which is my website, www.anntucker.com. So here's how you spell my name, just in case. It's got an E on the Ann. And right there, just scroll down you go to the main page, scroll down a teeny bit, and you will see this graphic, Business Energetics 101 Special Offer. Click on the Buy Now button and you will be in. And that's all it takes. And then you'll see, once you do that, you will see an opportunity to choose. You'll get directed immediately to the course. And you'll also have an option where you get to book which of those 2 time slots you want to join for your Q&A call. And then you'll be checking your email, because you'll get a confirmation email that has all those links in it as well. So just in case you forget to do it on that thank you page, you will see it in your inbox. So you can do it there as well, and you'll be able to access the course from there as well. And I cannot wait for you to start the course, because that 101 module is super fun. And it is a mind blower. Seriously, like, it's a totally different way of understanding manifestation. I know you guys are going to love it. So, all right, you guys, if you have any questions about this, let me know. I am happy to answer questions if you have thoughts or fears or worries. But I got to tell you, just go for it. It is $97 and it is 100% guaranteed. I will refund your money if you don't love it. So I really hope to see you guys all there. Thank you so much for being part of this challenge. It has been amazing, like the healings and the participation, such an incredible community. I really, really appreciate it. So you're saying, all right, thank you very much. Love it. Can't wait. Woohoo! This is going to be so much fun, you guys. All right, I will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Sending much love to you. And yes, I will be getting the recording up. So sorry for the problems with that, you guys. So I will get this up for you so you don't miss out. Talk to you soon.